The trial of a woman accused of murdering her friend at an alcohol-fuelled pamper party is in its final stages. 37-year-old Anna Brown stabbed mother of two Carly Stewart in the head at the party at a house in West Auckland in October of last year, but she's pleaded not guilty to murder. Our reporter Sarah Robson has been at her trial at the High Court in Auckland. I asked her what the background was to the case.
So Anna Brown and Carly Stewart were among a group of friends who had gathered at a house in Te Atatu in October last year. They were there for a pamper party. Defence lawyer Marie Dyberg said it was a chance for a group of friends to catch up, have a few drinks, have their nails done, basically have a good fun afternoon. But things took an ugly turn. It's alleged that Ms Brown stabbed Ms Stewart, her friend, in the head with a large kitchen knife. The stab wound was 11 centimetres deep and Ms Stewart died after losing large amounts of blood.
Right, lawyers have been summing up their cases today, right? Both the Crown, the prosecution and the defence. What did the Crown have to say? So
the Crown prosecutor, Nick Webby, told the jury that Ms Brown had been drinking heavily at this party. Her intoxication mixed with her ADHD and her antisocial disorders had led to her being, an extreme emotional response that was basically out of proportion to anything that had happened that day. Mr Webby said that as the day went on, Ms Brown got more and more aggressive and angry. The jury has heard that there was a scuffle between Ms Brown and Ms Stewart before that fatal attack. Now, the Crown argues that Anna Brown's attack on Ms Stewart, it wasn't random. It wasn't a random drunken flail. Rather, it was a carefully directed blow to Ms Stewart's head. Now, Mr Webby also went into details around, Ms Brown had deliberately picked up the biggest knife in the kitchen. It was about 30 centimetres long before she went and attacked Ms Stewart. He said that Ms Brown wasn't too drunk to form an intent to kill Ms Stewart, and she had actually tried to conceal that weapon as she walked in and before the stabbing and also as she left. Mr Webby also dealt with Ms Brown leaving the house after the attack. The Crown argues that she was fleeing and she came back to later deny that she had done anything wrong. She told police she hadn't done anything, but she began to change her story. She talked about different drugs she had been on. When she got caught out in each lie, she changed her story. So the Crown argues that basically Ms Brown has been untruthful and she'd gone into damage control mode over what she had done. Right,
so very strong closing from the Crown. The defence, which in this case is Marie Dyberg, right?
That's correct.
Gets to respond. What does she say?
So the defence is arguing, Ms Brown accepts that she did stab her friend and that blow did cause her death.
Right, so that's not in dispute.
That's not in dispute.
Right.
However, the defence is arguing that there was no murderous intent. Marie Dyberg says that Ms Brown was very intoxicated. She was so drunk that she couldn't have any murderous intent. Now, Ms Dyberg also was quite critical. She said that there were delays in testing, so urine samples. So we actually don't know how much alcohol was in Ms Brown's system, nor do we know exactly what drugs. However, there was some presence of methamphetamine. Now, Ms Dyberg also argued that Ms Brown didn't actually flee the scene. The group of women who were at the party had actually told Ms Brown in quite a threatening way to leave because of what she had done. She made no attempt to run or hide from the police. She actually didn't know. She was telling police, I don't know what I've done. I haven't done anything wrong. And Ms Dyberg also made the point that if you think you've committed murder, you don't hang around waiting for the police, you don't go back to the scene, and you also wouldn't stab someone in front of a host of witnesses. Ms Dyberg also said that throughout the day there was no ill feeling between the two. These two were friends. They were laughing and joking throughout the day. No one was scared of Ms Brown throughout the day. She wasn't exhibiting any forms of anger or violence towards anyone. And when the stabbing did actually occur, Ms Dyberg said Ms Brown, she didn't come in violent, she didn't come in angry, she wasn't, challenging for a fight. She just whimpered Ms Stewart's name and that was it. She also quickly dealt with the issue around Ms Brown's ADHD and her antisocial personality disorders. Now, the defence argues that they have doesn't make her any more likely to kill someone.
Sarah Robson, our reporter who's been in court. The judge sums up tomorrow and then the jury retires to consider their verdict.